I get frustrated easy, and I just lose focus, and sometimes I just go off the rails for littlest things in the world. It's it annoys me by getting annoyed, so I'll get annoyed more, if you know what I mean. I'll get annoyed for no reason, and I do get like confused, and like what people say. You can tell me one thing, and if it ain't how I would say it, I would probably think you mean something else. So it would just confuse my brain in that sort of way.
Can you explain how having Asperger's syndrome can affect you personally, so in your personal life?
I don't really know, to be honest, because I've got so many different problems that it's all into one big problem. So
how would it affect you in your home life, in your relationship?
hard. Yeah, because I have to be like the top person. They must hate me.
So with anxiety, I guess when you get into a bit of an anxiety attack or a panic attack, it can literally spark over anything. So one day one thing couldn't bother you, it won't bother you in the slightest, and then the next day it will just cause absolute chaos in your head. Like it just makes you just think loads of different things all at the same time, and you don't really know how to control it. So you end up getting panicky, lose your mind. I mean, I guess you just lose your train of thought, really. So, like, someone could be talking to me in a calm, peaceful way in everyone else's point of view as well as theirs. But then, in my eyes, I see it completely differently. Like, I see it as they're shouting at me, they're telling me I'm doing wrong, like I shouldn't be there, making me feel like I'm not wanted, or I'm not doing as everyone wants me to do, or I don't fit in. So, anxiety can cause absolute turmoil in someone's brain that suffers with it to an extreme level, and you don't really know how to deal with it. And the ways I deal with it, a lot of the time I like to talk to my trusted friends and family, and if they're not around, I put my headphones in.
Right.
I understand you have bipolar disorder. Could you explain a brief overview of what bipolar is and the different types?
The different types of bipolar are graded by the person and the disease, not by the name of the disease. My type of bipolar is you suffer from depression. You also suffer from memory loss, fits of rage, and then fits of self-abuse as well. And sometimes you feel like you can't open the curtains and face the world. Sometimes you would drink to excess where you don't remember what happens, and it's a challenge to kind of wake up in the mornings. Sometimes you can be so low that you just won't get out of bed for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes you can be so high and energized you literally jumping on the furniture. Manic sessions where if you've got money you'll go and buy stuff that you don't really need. You can get yourself in debt with it if you've got high stages. Bipolar comes in different shapes and forms to every person, so that just describes kind of what I've been through.
Thank you. What types of mood swings can you expect from someone suffering with bipolar disorder?
Bipolar disorder, the trouble is you don't get a warning. It's like a set of traffic lights where you get green, orange and red. You don't know what's coming until that person opens their mouth or opens their eyes. I could wake up and I could be on top of the world, be having a great day, and then suddenly everything could change. Something as stupid as dropping a glass in the kitchen could actually send you into a proper depression, or it could send you into a fit of rage. It's being imbalanced in the brain without treatment. It's quite a lethal disease if it's not treated properly.
Mm-hmm. What advice could you give to those suffering with bipolar disorder, as well as loved ones who are trying to support them with it?
I think the main thing there is the loved ones who try and support someone with bipolar is to go and read about bipolar, and instead of looking at someone and saying, what's wrong with you, just, if you can see there's an issue, just say, look, I'm not going to force you to talk, but I'm here if you need me. It's the best way to support someone who's going through this illness. What was the first part of the question again?
What advice could you give to those suffering with bipolar disease?
Right, okay. See, I told you memory loss is part of mine. People suffering with it, I think the best way I've dealt with mine is I've been through all the stages of depression. I've been through the highs, I've been through the lows, I've been through the self-abuse. And what I actually found was I focused on something and getting my own home, building a garden that I enjoy. And now I volunteer for a company that helps other people, not only in mental health situations, but in domestic violence situations and with housing situations. I think if you've got a skill, even if you've got bipolar or any illness, if you've got a skill, there's always a charitable organisation out there who will help you and bring you on board so that you can help people like yourself. I've helped thousands of people like myself, to the point where I've done conferences speaking about what I've been through, what I've accomplished, and how far and how changed I am now to when I first came out of hospital after 4 months being put into an institution. The person I was when I walked out of them doors is 6 years behind me now.
It's really nice to know that you've come so far. Well, that's the end of my questions. Thank you so much for cooperating with me with this.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like to say, if you have got bipolar or you've got issues or you've got anything that you're worried about, don't always assume it's a mental illness to start with, but make sure that you always go and get yourself checked.
Thank you.
All right.